Now to gain easier access, we're going to have to go ahead and remove this entire area. Now to start getting this off of here, we're going to have to remove 3 7mm headed bolts. With that cover out of the way, let's go ahead and loosen this clamp. You don't have to loosen it to the point that it separates, just enough that you can carefully pull this away from the throttle body assembly. Now we're going to move along to this area right here. That should be right in there, but generally it just slides right out. And that's okay. Moving along to the mass airflow sensor, we're going to disconnect this electrical connector. Squeeze the tab where my thumb is, pull it off of there. Give it a quick inspection for corrosion, set it aside. There's also a mounting point for that on this hose. Generally, you can just pull it right off of there. Now we're going to have to take off the upper air intake. For this, you're going to find 2 clamps along the inboard aspect. I'll reach down, grab the bottom of the clamp, lift it up. I just heard it unlock. Do the same on this side. And now we can grab this entire unit and we'll lift it up. Slide it towards the center and remove it from the vehicle. Now we're going to have to move directly underneath the alternator. You're going to find the Serpentine belt tensioner. This is a spring-loaded tensioner. You're going to have to use a 3/8 ratchet or a 3/8 serpentine belt tool. Put it right into the little square notch down along the bottom area. Now we're going to turn this counterclockwise to loosen the belt a little bit, and we'll slide it off of the idler pulley up higher here. There we are. Get your tool out of the way. Now with the belt pulled out of the way, we have clear access to our idler pulley right here. We'll use a 15mm to remove the center bolt. Make sure you're holding on to that idler pulley. Let's get this out of here. On the back side, you're going to find this area that holds the bolts into the idler pulley. We're going to have to go ahead and remove that. I'll just hold the bolt, spin this counterclockwise until it's fully removed. Set this aside because you will be reusing it. Remove the bolt and the washer from the front. And there it is, friends. Okay, friends, now it's time to install our idler pulley. Before you go ahead and put it in there, just compare it to the original. Make sure it's the same diameter. After that, we're going to take our mounting bolt, washer, and our rubber bushing and slide it in through the front of the idler pulley. Along the back side, you want to make sure you put on that locking washer. We're going to have it so the ears that are facing out of it are facing towards the back. Let's put that right on here. Screw it all the way down up against that bearing. Now we can get this in position in the vehicle. Go ahead and start screwing that in by hand. Now that I have it bottomed out, I'm going to torque this to manufacturer's specification. We'll torque this to 35 foot-pounds. Now we can start reinstalling the serpentine belt. Put it up and over the pulley here. You want to make sure that it's fitting into all of the grooves. We'll make our way this way and put it over the power steering pump as well. Once again, fitting in the grooves. Now I'm going to hold pressure on this, trying to push it under the idler pulley. We're going to have to relieve tension and slide it under at the same time. Once you feel as though you have the belt on there, just double check to make sure it's sitting inside all the grooves. Some of the pulleys will have grooves, others will be smooth like this one. Now once you're sure that everything's torqued properly, let's continue by putting the air intake back together. I'll take this cover and I'm going to slide each of these 3 ears into their corresponding holes in the lower box. Now I can carefully start swinging this down into the proper position and we'll line it up with the throttle body. Go ahead and slide it right on there. Press it in as far as it can go. Once it's bottomed out, tighten your clamp with an 8mm or flathead screwdriver. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now let's move along to this hose as well. For this, I'm just going to grab onto the air intake, gently flex it a little bit, and then slide it into position. Now it's time to start reconnecting the mass airflow sensor. Let's start with the mounting point. Slide it right in here. Electrical connector, slide it in, listen for a click. There it is. Give it a tug to make sure it's completely secured. And now we're going to reach down and lock in both of our clamps. Now we can go ahead and put our cover back on here. You want to make sure you line up all 3 of your mounting bolt holes with the areas that they need to line up with. Start in all 3 of those mounting bolts and snug them up. Okay friends, we got our idler pulley installed. Of course, you're going to want to go ahead and start up the vehicle, let it run for approximately 30 seconds, and then turn it off. Make your way back out here and double check that belt. Make sure it's sitting on all the pulleys properly. After that, you can go ahead and close the hood, start it up, and take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.